We had a request from one of our newsletter subscribers asking us how we like to defend a strong close halfback toss. And within the email, he asked us if we could show it how we'd like to defend it with a cover 2 sink type defense. So what we thought we'd do here this week is go ahead and take a look at a cover 2 sink defense that you can defend it with. And we're going to go ahead and do this with the 3-4 odd. Now, just keep this in mind. This may not work with every single type of formation in the game. So if you run this with the 4-3 stack or some other type of defense as far as a cover 2 sink, it may not work the same. However, with the 3-4 odd cover 2 sink that we're going to show as far as countering the strong close halfback toss, it does do a pretty good job at it. So let's go ahead and take a look at the strong close halfback toss and just take a look at the play itself. And as you look at it, the play is designed basically to get the halfback out to the outside. So he's going to wind up running the ball into this area here to the outside. And he's looking for some key blocks, in particular from this guy right here, which happens to be the right guard. He's going to get out here and pull. And he's also going to have the fullback. So the fullback will be coming out here as well, looking to go ahead and make those blocks to the outside. And that's what makes this play hard to defend, because you have those two guys going out as far as blocking for the halfback once he gets to the outside. So what we like to do is we like to keep that halfback from getting outside. And as you look at it, one of the things they did this year with this particular defense, and even with anytime the opponent comes out in a close or a bunch type formation, you're going to notice that the corners are lined up to the outside of the receivers. And here's the two corners you can see on your screen that they're lined up further to the outside. And the idea of that was to try to keep these plays, such as the halfback toss, from being as successful as they have been. Now, one of the things that you can do is to go ahead and make those guys go further out wide. We'll take a look at that here in just a second. Let's just go ahead and run the play, at least initially, without making any adjustments. Now, what you're hoping for, as far as on the defense, if you don't make any adjustments, you're hoping that those guys can get off the blocks and they can wind up making a tackle, such as what you saw there, without making any adjustments at all. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. And you can see what winds up happening here is that linebacker is able to get off this block. Actually, it winds up being a corner. It winds able to get off that block right there as far as from this receiver out here on the outside. So you can look at your screen, and you can see that he winds up getting off the block, and this allows us to get this tackle. What if that back, or at least that corner, wasn't able to break that, as far as able to shed that block? And if he wasn't able to, then there's a chance that this could be a wind up being a big play. And to prevent that from happening, something that you can do as far as on the defensive side of the ball, let's take a look at this defense here. It's a 3-4 odd, cover 2 sink. You can see right now that's what the defense looks like. You wind up having 5 defenders playing hook zone as far as hook zone coverages, and you wind up having 2 defenders dropping back in 2 deep coverage. So something that you can do to defend this would be to go ahead and say spread your linebackers out, such as what we're going to do there. And then we're going to go ahead and use base of line, which is going to bring those 2 corners further outside. Now, the idea of this setup was simply to keep the running back from getting to the outside. What we want to do is we want to funnel him back to the inside. And if you've ever taught Pee-wee football or even youth football, you know that one of the first things you teach as far as on the defensive side of the ball is to keep that from happening. You want to funnel everything back to the inside where your other defenders can make the tackles. So you want to contain to the outside, keep the defenders, or keep the back from getting to the outside and forcing him back to the inside. And that's the idea with this particular setup. Now, something else that you can do with this one, because we wind up taking those 2 corners further outside, and we also went ahead and shifted the linebackers as far as spreading them out wider, something that you may consider doing is bringing these 2 safeties down closer to the line of scrimmage. And the reason for that is to get more guys in the box. So that way you wind up having, if you look at it now, technically we really have about 9 guys down in here lined up in the box is what we wind up doing when we bring those 2 safeties down. So you can see right there we still have 9 guys in the box, and yet we still have containment to the outside, not only with the 2 corners, but actually with those 2 linebackers being spread out wider, which is going to be this one right here, which is the right outside linebacker and the left outside linebacker. This defense is a lot better positioned to go ahead and defend the outside run, in this case this toss play. Now, if they were to run the ball inside, because we brought those 2 safeties down, we still wind up having a fairly good inside run defense as well, and that's the reason I wanted to show this. So let's go ahead and run the defense now and run this play as far as on the offensive side of the ball, and watch what happens here. So now that corner is in position to make that tackle without ever being blocked. And if he was to go ahead and run back to the inside as far as the halfback, let's go ahead and take a look at it from instant replay. You'll see what I mean as far as with this particular play. So let's go ahead and take a look at it from this view here as we run it. You can see that really the only thing that the running back can really do here is really he almost needs to go back to the inside. If he runs to the outside, he already sees this guy out here, so he really doesn't have an opportunity to run to the outside, and so he's almost got to cut back in. And you can see also as you go back and rewind it, that the fullback, he's not going to get out here and make this block. He looks like, at least initially, he may, but he doesn't. He actually winds up going back inside, and he winds up blocking that guy right there who gets off the block. And guess what? Now we got that cornerback in position to go ahead and defend this. So this is something that you can do to go ahead and try to defend this particular run play as far as out of the strong close. Let's go ahead and do it one more time and take a look at it. So we're going to go ahead and spread those linebackers out. Go ahead and use baseline. It's going to bring those two corners further out wide. We're going to go ahead and bring our safeties down into box, so we're going to bring the free safety and strong safety, such as what you see on your screen. And now we'll feel like we're in a little bit better position to go ahead and defend this. So let's go ahead and run it again. You can see right there that that corner winds up making that tackle and forces him. He's going to have to go back inside or try to knock the truck the cornerback over, or at least knock him over if that halfback has any chance of breaking it and making any type of play out of it. In this case, again, the corner was able to make the tackle, and the halfback doesn't really pick up anything. So that's what you're hoping for. You've got the guys in position. We showed you the X's and O's. Now it's just hopefully the corner makes the tackle like he's supposed to, such as there. Because if he doesn't make the tackle, then guess what? There's a chance that that running back may wind up picking up some extra yardage. But as I said before, the idea of this is to go ahead and force this running back rather than going to the outside. What we're trying to do is we're trying to force him back into the inside where we can get one of our linebackers or one of our defensive linemen maybe to make the tackle. So that's the idea of this particular defense. Hopefully this setup will help you as far as you guys are trying to defend a strong close halfback toss. Again, the name of the play is, or at least what we're trying to show, is how to defend the strong close halfback toss with a 3-4 odd cover 2 sink.